Céad Míle Fáilte. I'm that Irish girl. I'm Irish, I believe in luck, but preventive maintenance is better. Today, we're doing an oil change and an inspection on a 2015 Fusion. Keep watching if you want to learn how to properly inspect every aspect of your car. First things first, we're going to reset the service light, and we're going to do that through the steering wheel and the instrument panel. While I'm doing that, I'm going to tell you a bit about myself. I moved to the Big Apple in February 2025. I didn't know anyone, I didn't have a job, I was on Indeed and I was applying for absolutely every mechanic position going in my area. Ford got back to me, and a few others. I had a couple of interviews online and in person, but Ford won the bid because all the shops in New York City are tiny. The Ford shop that I picked has nice and big, lots of space between the two lifts. I loved it. I took the position and I've been working on the big rigs ever since. Next, we're going to do a quick bit on lift safety. If you're unsure about a lift, no matter what size the car, the truck, put the car up about 2 foot off the ground, 1 foot, just as long as the wheels aren't touching, and you sit on either the bonnet or the rear if it's a truck, and it's easier to sit on the tow bar, and you give it a bit of wiggle. Now, the eye contact is not mandatory, but for some reason I thought it was this time. But the car is secure anyway, so we're going to put it up a bit higher. This is the first bit of our check over. We're going to do left, right and up and down on all 4 wheels. Left and right is normally tie rod end, ball joint, inner tie rod. Up and down is almost always a wheel bearing. There's no movement in this, so I can't give you a good example, but this is what we're checking for. Here now we're also inspecting the coil spring, the shock top, tyre thread depth, and we're going to look at the brake pads too. We're going to make sure the wheel spins freely, the brakes aren't stuck, the rotors aren't bright red, which means the pad is sticking or the caliper was going to be sticking. For efficiency's sake, I have no notion of taking any wheels off cars if I don't have to. So I'm going to look through the wheel and the alloy, most of them you can see through anyways, and you're going to look and see what the pad thread depth is. Make sure you have a torch because you won't see nothing without it. And don't get tricked by the chamfer on the pad. The chamfer is just supposed to stop brake noise. I'll attach a little picture here for you so you can see what it looks like, but that'll trick you too when you think your pads are gone and they're sound when you take them out. Next up, we're going to take the under tray down. For efficiency again, we're not going to take out all the bolts if we don't have to. This is a soft one, so we're just going to take out the back few and we're going to let it hang down. These are 10mm bolts that we're going to unscrew and pop off that one little pop fastener. And we're good to go. We're going to grab the oil drainer. I had never used one of these in Ireland before I came here, and the first time I used it and I tried to empty it, you know what happened. I got soaked. Next, we're going to undo the 15mm drain plug with our pink ratchet. Of course, it's got to be pink. You won't be able to undo it unless it's pink. And we're going to let that drain. Now, while that's draining, we are going to do the rest of our check over. Here we're going to be checking the CV boots, the axle boots. I think that's what you guys call them. We're going to be doing the drop links, seeing if there's any play in them. Tie rod end boots, ball joint boots, because if the boot's torn, it's normally going to lead to premature wear anyways, and we can recommend it and see what they say. Drop links are probably the leading cause of rattle noises. These are good ones, so I can't give you a good example, but you just pull down on a bit and you can normally feel a little bit of play. You can feel them move. When I get a bad one, I'll show you. You're going to look for these things on both sides, and then we're going to move to the back. In the back, you're going to check the coil spring again back here, make sure it's not broken, even down at the bottom at the very top. Then you're going to look at the anti-roll bar and the drop links again, make sure there's no play in them. There's a lot of bushings and control arms in the back of cars now. The bushings, they always look dry, they look dry rotted, they look cracked. These ones don't look good either, but if you get a bar in behind where they're mounted to and try and wiggle them, 95% of the time there's no movement in them. We're not going to be replacing parts now if we don't need to. That's more hassle on us, and we're wasting time and money. You're going to check the exhaust, look for any leaks in the exhaust. You're going to see if there's any rattling, make sure it's not making noise. No vibrations, no little loose heat shields, anything like that. It all looks good on this one. We're going to go back to our oil drainer. We're going to tighten up the thumb plug again. Do not leave it finger tight. There's so many people and apprentices, anyone I've heard of, they put it in finger tight and then they go to the oil filter and they forget to tighten it again. So before you go anywhere, you get your little pink ratchet again and you tighten it. Don't go looking at the oil filter until that's tight. Now you got to clean that off, make sure it's not dripping, and then you can move on to your oil filter. Now with an oil filter wrench, if these are on extra tight, this one's sound is not that tight at all. But if it's really tight, try and get the filter wrench at the very top of the oil filter housing or at the very bottom. These are both going to be the strongest points. Everyone always destroys the filter and it's so much harder to take it off if the cartridge is in 2 pieces. because they try and do it from the very middle of the filter housing. Do it from the top or do it from the bottom, they're going to be the strongest. Afterwards, you're going to tighten up the new one on. You're going to make sure you lube the seal on it, just with a bit of oil, old engine oil or anything. Tighten it up again. Do it hand tight. Do not put the wrench on it again because you won't be able to take it off. Hand tight, and make sure you tighten it with the rag in your hand so you're not slipping the whole time. That looks good. Now we're going to clean everything up and put the engine tray back up. Then we're going to lower the car and get our oil ready. Now, a wise old man once told me, any oil is better than no oil. If you are stuck on the side of the road and you're in a gas station or whatever and you're like, I wonder what kind of oil my car takes, and you've got none in it at all, it's not on the dipstick, buy whichever oil is there and put it in your car, because any oil is better than no oil. But for our handy dandy service, we are going to get the proper oil because we have the facilities and we're not stuck. It's an oil change. We're not broken down somewhere. So this car takes 530 and it takes 6 quarts. So I'm going to get that while the car is coming down. Now I'm going to get my funnel because, like most men, I have bad aim. So I'm not spilling this all over the place like a slob. I'm going to use a funnel and we're going to put in almost the whole 6 quarts, but we're going to leave it a tiny bit short just in case. We are going to use the dipstick and we're going to make sure the oil level is okay on the stick in case my Ford system's wrong and it takes 10 quarts instead of the 6 or whatever, and that the oil is too high or too low before I start it and do any damage. Looks good to me. We're going to remove the funnel, put on the little oil cap again so we don't squirt oil everywhere, and we're going to go and start the car. Let it run for just a minute, maybe 2 minutes, and then we're going to jump out and we're going to check the oil level again and make sure it's okay on the stick, it's not too low. This is a small oil filter, you've seen it, but if it's a big oil filter, that could take a quart to fill. On some of the diesels it takes a quart, and then your engine oil is low a quart because it'll be okay on the dipstick until the oil filter is full. Now this level looks good to me, so we're going to continue on with our little checklist under the bonnet. I'm going to start by topping off the screen wash first. Make sure that's full. Okay, so the first thing we're going to check under the hood is the fan belt. You're looking for if it's dry, cracked, perished, or if it's shiny. This one looks good. I'm going to insert a picture of a side-by-side between a shiny one and a not shiny one to show you the difference, because these belts actually run on the side walls of the V, not on the very tip. So if it's shiny, that means it's touching all the lines on the pulley and it's just not going to work the way it's supposed to. Next, we're going to continue our inspection. We're looking for oil leaks, and when obvious, we're going to check the air filter element. When you take these out, you're going to want to see if there's any dirt on the bottom of it. Don't just flick open the cover and be like, yeah, that looks clean, because that's always going to be clean. It's underneath where it actually sucks the air into that's going to catch the dirt. This one looks like it was changed last service. It looks brand new. Don't need to change it. Same as the spark plugs. This car actually comes here quite often, so I know the spark plugs got done last time, so I'm not even going to remove the coil pack and have a look. But if it was a new car to me, I would take it out and have a look just as preventative maintenance, because you don't want to be breaking down and having an issue. And spark plug, you can have long life plugs. They are not lifelong. They don't last the life of the car. You still have to change them, but they do last longer than standard plugs. Depending on the type, they can last between, I think it's 60,000 miles and 120,000 miles. So definitely look at them before you change them, because I know they're expensive if they're going to last that bit longer too. Now, last but not least, to conclude our check over, we're going to top off the tyre pressure. And TPMS lights on in this car anyway, so they're probably a bit low. It is cold here in New York, so the change in air pressure will also change the air pressure in your tyre, and it normally comes up as low on the screen. I'm just going to top them off a bit. I'm going to put them all at 35. Well, that concludes our service on this Fusion for now. Gurmila Magat, thank you for watching, and we'll see you again shortly.